Shalom, it's your brother Yirah, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Shalom to the elect of Israel, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, whom the Lord will have mercy on in these latter days. Shalom to the men of the Lord that are prophesying, preaching, and teaching on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Shalom, shalom. You can see the headline here. It says a bison attacks a woman in South Dakota for getting too close to calf. See the video. Now, I've been noticing a lot more incidents have been happening out here in this Yellowstone Park area. These animals, they seem like they're getting more irritable. And we all know Esau Edom, which is the so-called white man. He loves to be out there in the nature, just fucking with animals, which those animals don't really fuck with Esau, because there's plenty of stories back in the day where he gets jacked up by a bear, or he gets bit by a snake or an alligator or something. And we're in the days now of the latter times, the end times, which the Lord sent his men, the prophets, to preach about. That there's not going to only be the thermonuclear destruction. There's going to be a lot of plagues that hit this place. The spirit of this place is going to change for the worst for this demon. You're going to see basically how much the Most High hates him on every side through these through various channels. And one of those channels are going to be animals. They're going to play a major role in part of that sword and the destruction that's going to be a plague into this place. So I'll let this video play. See if I can blow it up. If I can. Computer ain't tripping.
She has no pants on?
No, not anymore.
Oh my God. She's unconscious.
Probably.
Now you see this Edomite is messing with the calves because why are all these bison so few in number? They killed 80-some million bison, in the 1800s. These animals are gonna get loose, man. They're gonna get busy in these latter days. I'm gonna replay this.
Yep, and it's dragging her.
Holy!
She's lucky she didn't get put to death by that animal. And this is the second time I've seen this in the last couple of months. I've seen one in Yellowstone, a bison that started chasing a woman because they were getting too close to these animals, And, hey, great judgment is coming. So I'm going to get a couple precepts on that. Let's start with, we'll set the tone what the day of the Lord is. Zephaniah, it says, the great day of the Lord Yahweh is near, and it hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord Yahweh. The mighty men shall cry there bitterly. The day is a day of wrath, and a day of trouble and distress, and a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and the high towers. So it's not just the thermonuclear destruction, it's all types of waste and desolation and darkness and distress, as you see it written here in Zephaniah. Amos goes into it. Again, this is Amos 5:18. He says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. So for all you so-called Christians that are out there preaching, we're in the end times, you're going to be saved. Well, if you don't have the true doctrine, it's saying, what end is it for you? It's a day of darkness and not light. It says, as if a man did flee from a lion and a bear met him, or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall, and a serpent bit him. Shall not the day of the Lord Yahweh be darkness and not light, even very dark, and no brightness in it? So the Most High is basically telling you that it's going to be horror, and it's going to be a horror movie out here. That there's going to be absolutely no joy to be found anywhere. If you're not of the elect, of the men of the Lord, it's going to get really, really bad out here. And people have underestimated these animals and how mistreated these habitats have been, like how the environment and how these animals have been treated over the years. You see how animals, even during coronavirus, they start taking back over areas, and they start thriving again. Because ultimately this place is plagued thanks to Esau Edom. He doesn't know how to live peaceably on the earth, ultimately. So this is let me get Job This is Job 18, right? Because the Most High is going to put terrors on all sides of this place. It says, yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. So you're going to start seeing just all hell breaks loose from his own counsel. So the way the freedom that he's able to have is going to be heavily restricted, like you're seeing it right now. Cities are about to start being locked down in entirety. People have no wear masks. People can't even go to the office to work. It's all crumbling down, just as it was prophesied here. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. It says, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. So Esau Edom set his own self up with this, man. With using the U.S. dollar, weaponizing it all over the globe. You know, putting sanctions on people. You know, using military force, showing his strength through, what do you call these military parades that they do? You know, whether it be, in Navy vessels or aircraft carriers or F-16 fighter jets, whatever it is, he's a bully, man. So he set his own self up when these nations come against him. It says, the jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. So, hey, he's laid his own snare, as it says here. It says, the snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. And actually, it kind of makes me want to get it lines up with Obadiah. This is Obadiah 1. I'll start at 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. That's the snare. And have prevailed against thee. So that's that robber. They eat thy bread, that robber. They eat thy bread, have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. So it says, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, even destroy the wise man out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? So Obadiah lines right up with this, man. There's the snare is laid for him in the ground. Going back to Job 18 and 10. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. This is one of those terrors. This lady here getting judged, this is a sign of what's to come. People think it's just going to be financial. They think it's just going to be guns, which it is going to be all of those things, but it's going to be much more than that. It's going to be guns, it's going to be pestilence, it's going to be famines. People are going to be getting judged by animals. The Most High, the chariots are going to start showing up. You're going to see niggas getting struck by lightning. All types of judgment going to come from all sides, as it's written here. It says, terror, verse Job 18 and 11, terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the strength of his skin. Even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. So this is likened unto a Passover, this event that's going on. And if you think about it, Esau is the firstborn of Isaac. Well, he's the firstborn of Isaac and Rebekah between Jacob. Jacob and Esau. So this Passover can just be likened to Esau getting taken out of here, man. It says his confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the King of terrors. That's the Most High. So the Most High is not to be played with, man. Because here it is. These Edomites thought it was all good, just gonna be a day in the park. They're gonna be out here, messing with the animals.
my God! Don't.
Bison drugged that bitch, you know, could have killed her.
She has no pants on?
No, not anymore.
Oh my God!
Losing.
She's unconscious.
Losing.
Probably.
No pants on, unconscious. Just losing, man. They thought it was all good going out here to the park, you know, but these animals are fed up as well. They have spirits on them as well, or in them as well, and the Most High can put a spirit on them to do as He please, man. You know? It says, you know, we're going to Psalm 73, you know, because they think this place is going to go on forever, but it's not. They think it's just a hiccup in the road, but that's that pride in them, you know. This is Psalm 73 and 12 says, Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. Verily have I cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocency. It says, For all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning. And that's Jake, that's us. If I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. Because when I thought to know this, it was too painful for me, until I went to the sanctuary of the Most High, and then understood I their end. So who is their end? who is the there in this situation? It says, Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. And this people are in a slippery place, because the reality is, when you look at this scene here, these buffalo, this is a slippery place, because the Lord could put the spirit on all of these animals to just deal with all those Edomites out there. See, they're going out there thinking it's going to be a beautiful day out in the park. You know, we're going to see some bison, some buffalo. You know, but the hey, the Lord could put the spirit on those bison, you know, to remember what their forefathers did to their forefathers, which was wipe them out. You know, to get at Gad. How the hell do you kill 80 million some buffalo to try to put them in extinction damn near, man? So this is a slippery place for them. This is an example for it, you know. The Most High will use examples on the micro level to explain things that are going to happen on the macro level. It says, when I thought to know this, it was too painful for me, until I went into the sanctuary of God. Then understood I their end. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castest them down into destruction. It says, how are they brought into desolation, as in a moment they are utterly consumed with terrors. Because this one went up from 1 second, oh, it's a baby calf, you know, bison. And then all of a sudden that that mother or the father or whatever, that the parent of that bison came in. Just a moment. Completely wrecked that lady. Utterly destroyed. It says, how are they brought into desolation? As in a moment they are utterly consumed with terrors. This is a prime example of what's going to happen to Esau Edom. They're in a slippery place right now, and this is how they're going to be brought down. Suddenly, full of pride, thinking they're going to pet a bison, and they almost get the spirit snatched out of them, you know. So I just wanted to share that with you, Akim. Hopefully that was edifying. Call for law Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rachach Wadash and Wa Abad Babal.